àṣà kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ kúnnúgbà láwùjọ òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ rédíò àfínjú kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ wọn.
ẹ bá mi pè é o kí lorúkọ rẹ̀ rédíò gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ àfínjú gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ àfínjú lórí WhatsApp Instagram Facebook lórí X lórí YouTube lórí TikTok kí lorúkọ rẹ̀ ẹ bá mi pè é o rédíò gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ àfínjú 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 rédíò àfínjú rédíò àfínjú rédíò àfínjú.
My dear, mo fẹ́ kọ́ máa tí mi wá máa gbé lọ́dọ̀ wa kó lè mọ ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́.
ràn mí lọ́wọ́ fún kí ni jàre.
kó lè mọ ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́ náà ni.
tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbéyàwó tán ní kọ́ máa tí ẹ̀ wá máa ràn mí lọ́wọ́ kó má wá o.
yóò wá o.
a ní kò lè wá.
yóò wá o.
a ní kò lè wá sẹ́.
ẹ tí ì rí nǹkan kan ẹbí aláyọ̀ lẹ́tọ̀ tí yóò máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ìgbéyàwó nínú ilé nínú ẹbí láàrin olólùfẹ́ méjì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. àwọn ọ̀jìnmí tí ó máa túkọ̀ ètò náà ni Bùkọ́lá Ọláwùmí àti Àfíìsì Oyinmọ́mọ́ àárín aago 2 sí 3 ọ̀sán gbẹ̀rẹ́ ni. ẹ wò ó ẹbí aláyọ̀ lẹbí wa.
My dear mi olólùfẹ́ mi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀mi náà ṣì ní kọ́ọ̀dù rẹ.
èmi náà làdáptọ̀ rẹ̀.
Hey there, Super Kids! Are you ready for a ride of fun and learning? Get ready to blast off on Kids Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew on Radio Afinju every Saturday at 10 to 11 a.m. Listen to stories that will tickle your bones, games that will blow your mind, and music that will make you dance like no one's watching. There's also lots of surprises and gifts to be won. So gather your friends, turn up the volume, let's have fun and make awesome memories together on Kids Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew. Only on Radio Afinju. Yeah! Good morning, Ekaro, Ututoma, Inakwana. How are we doing this lovely, beautiful, radiant Saturday morning? It is time once again for Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew on Radio Afinju, the show of all shows. Why? Because it's a show for kids. And you know now, who are the future of tomorrow? We are. So this show is the show above every other show. So if you're listening to me right now, count yourself lucky to be here. And not just lucky. And why do I say lucky? Because this morning you're going to learn so much. You're going to be entertained. You're going to have so much fun here on Kids Arena. My name is Pearl and I'm your host for this morning. Of course, I'm not doing this alone because it takes a village to raise a child. I'm here with I'm here with two wonderful, lovely young ladies. There is Sophia. How are you doing this morning, Sophia?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Even though the week has been that's it.
There's always something.
The week has been a tedious, but today is Saturday, and here we are live on Kiddies Arena.
Okay, good to have you join us once again, Sophia. And how are you doing, Ewa?
I'm doing amazing. I'm especially happy that January is finally ended.
Right.
Happy New Month!
Happy New Month!
It's almost as if it wasn't going to end.
Right.
But finally, we are in February, the shortest month of the year. Yeah. Happy New Month to everyone listening to me this morning. I mean, it's popularly a month of love. So another opportunity for you to spread love with the people around you. It's not just for romantic people. Everybody deserves love. So this month, make it a top priority to spread love to people around you. And also new months are a chance for, in fact, every day is a chance for a new beginning, a new start. But if you need milestones like a new month to cheer you up or to kickstart you, take this first day of the month as another opportunity. Those goals you set for the year, it's not too late. You still have like 11 months to achieve them. So get to work this morning. Good to have you join us on the show. If you're not already following us on social media, we're on all social media platforms, on Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, all social media platforms at Radio Afinju. Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl is also open for sponsorship. And if you have kid-friendly goods and services and you want to reach out to hundreds and thousands of audience of listeners, then this is the show for you. Just reach out to our marketing team with the phone number displaying on your screen and someone is going to attend to you. Good morning once again. So Kiddies Arena, what's Kiddies Arena all about? On the show, we have 4 segments. The first segment is our storytelling segment by Ewa. Ewa, what's that all about?
All right, in the storytelling segment, we are very known for like using our imagination, and that you're going to understand once I start reading today's story. But I'm not going to get too much into that, so I don't like spoil it for you.
Okay, no spoilers. When we get to that bridge, we're going to cross it, and that's for the storytelling segment. Of course, that's not all. Sophia is taking us on another roller coaster with grammar, current affairs, and word of the day. Would you want to tell them more about that, Sophia?
Good morning once again. This is the second time today.
Don't worry.
I feel like I'll catch this morning.
Sophia at least 5 good mornings on every show.
So I am tempted to say good morning again, but I won't say it. So on that way, we do grammar, we do current affairs, and we also have the word of the day. Grammar is basically us learning how to improve our vocabulary, our diction, how we use tenses, how we use words to help us build a more structured sentence making while we are speaking or writing. Why current affairs is just us knowing about the world in general, about our country, about fun facts, about historical facts, about what's happening in the country and all over the world. And word of the day is an opportunity for us to learn new word instead of using the old words that we are very used to, so we can actually improvise and implement our new words to make our vocabulary more better.
Okay, you see, that's awesome. And then in the third segment, where I do safety and general well-being, I teach us how we can stay safe, not only in our environment, in our homes, and how you can improve your overall well-being as a person and in the society. And then finally, we play games. If time permits, we play a little game on the show, just to round things off on a very high note. So it's a power-packed show. We have a blast. It's so much fun. So if you're watching on Facebook, again, turn on your notifications, follow the page. You can watch this live stream on Facebook. It's currently streaming. You can also listen to us on our website at www.afinjufm.com. We will go straight into the storytelling segment by Miss Foladara Ewa Oluwa right after we come back from this break. So don't go anywhere. It's still Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl.
Buckle my shoe, 3, 4, open the door, 5, 6, pick up the sticks, 7, 8, now lay them straight, 9, 10, do it again, do it again, do it again, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, let's do it all again. Buckle my shoe, 3, 4, open the door, 5, 6, pick up the sticks, 7, my shoe. Let's do it all again. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, open.
Welcome back to the show with still Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew on radio. Afinju, and right about now we're going straight into the storytelling segment. I wonder what it is we have to imagine this morning, but I'll leave that to Ewa to let us know. So over to you, Ewa.
All right, good morning once again.
Good morning. I'm counting it.
And happy new month to all of you listening to Radio Afinju at this moment. Today's story is titled The Brave Little Firefly. The Brave Little Firefly. Once upon a time, in a forest filled with tall trees and winding streams, there lived a little firefly named Flash. Flash.
I mean, that's typical.
Flash loved to fly around the forest at night, lighting up the darkness with his shiny lights. But despite his love for flying, Flash was afraid of the dark. Firefly, wow. He would often get nervous and worried when the sun began to set, and he would hurry back to the safety of his cozy little nest. One night, as Flash was flying around the forest, he came across a group of animals who were lost in the darkness. A family of rabbits, a pair of squirrels, and a lone hedgehog were all stumbling around, trying to find their way back to their homes in the darkness. Flash knew he had to do something to help, but he was afraid of the dark, and he didn't know if he could overcome his fear. Just as Flash was hesitating, a wise old owl perched on a nearby branch and called out to him. "Flash, my little friend," said the owl, "you have the power to light up the darkness. Don't let your fear hold you back. Be brave and shine your light." Flash took a deep breath and remembered the owl's words. He began to shine his light, and it grew brighter and brighter until it illuminated the entire forest. The lost animals were amazed and grateful for Flash's bravery. They followed the light back to their homes, and they all thanked Flash for his help. From that day on, Flash was no longer afraid of the dark. He knew that he had the power to light up the darkness, and he was proud of himself for being brave. The other animals in the forest looked up to Flash as a hero, and they would often gather around him to hear the story of how he overcame his fear and saved the day. The moral of today's story is the story of Flash the Firefly teaches us that we all have the power to overcome our fears and be brave. Sometimes all it takes is a little bit of courage and a reminder that we are capable of more than we think. And another thing I would like us to live with is something the wise owl said: be brave and shine your light. I'm going to hold on to that for this month.
Yeah.
Be brave and shine your light.
Although I do find it ironic that a firefly is scared of the dark. I mean, you are the light. You are the light of this world. Why would you be scared? And I love that he was able, it is one thing for somebody to tell you, oh, you can be brave, you can do this, you can do that. But if you yourself don't believe you can do it, nothing in this world can push you to do it. The wise old owl might just be saying it. In fact, it's possible the owl didn't even believe the firefly could do it. But by virtue of him being a firefly, the owl was just being an owl, always giving wisdom, always giving wise words. But the firefly had to believe in his own ability to actually shine forth and come out of his own, instead of being timid, instead of being scared, to encourage himself to be brave, because now his own bravery did not depend on his own success alone. It also depended on him rescuing those animals that were lost in the forest. So the animals were also hoping on his own bravery for them to be rescued. So it also goes to show that sometimes when you need to do things, when you need to really be bold, when you need to stand, when you need to be courageous, sometimes this is not just for yourself, it is also for those that are looking to you as a source of inspiration. I don't know if anybody is keen into this, Rema. It's also for those looking to you. I mean, they believe you can do it, but they need to see you actually do it, so that tomorrow when they find themselves in such situation, they will think, if Firefly can do it, I can do it as well. If Ewa can do it, I can do it as well. If Sophia can do it, I can do it as well. And turns out the fly could actually do it, but the only thing that was holding him back is fear. There's something I always tell people: do it afraid. It doesn't matter what the outcome is, because you would never really know what the outcome would be if you don't try. The Firefly would never have known that. Flash would never have known that he could actually illuminate so much light to help those lost animals, but then he decided to do it afraid. So as we enter this new month, do it afraid. Those extracurricular activities I mentioned last week that you are thinking you can't do, maybe it's self-defense, or it's sports, or it's learning a new skill, do it afraid, because you never know if it is something you actually love and enjoy. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, really? What's the worst that can happen? You fail at it, okay, and then you try again. You keep trying until you get the hang of it, or you try something else. If A doesn't work, try B. That's why we have 26 letters in the alphabet. If A doesn't work, try B, try plan C, try plan D. Something has to give. Something has to give. So thank you, Ewa, for that wonderful, short but full with moral lesson. So thank you so much for that. And right about now, we're going into the grammar segment with Sophia. What are we learning this morning in grammar?
You're welcome to my segment. I want to avoid saying you know the salutation. So this morning we'll be talking about articles. So what do you mean about articles? So let's delve into it and let's see what articles are all about. So articles are words that modify nouns and indicate whether they are specific or general. Articles are words that modify noun and indicate whether they are specific. Probably you are talking about something not you are not generalizing something, or you are trying to generalize something. So that is what article is trying to modify the noun to tell us if it is for something or it's a general. We are talking about a general idea, general thing, or anything. In English, there are two types of articles. We have the definite and indefinite. Definite and indefinite. We have the definite article and indefinite article. And under the indefinite article, we have a and an. A and n, that is indefinite article. While the definite article, we have definite article D. Definite article D. So let's talk about a, n, and d, because while we have the articles a, n, and d, so let's talk about a, and that's our indefinite articles first before we talk about our definite article D. So in the indefinite articles a and n, the indefinite articles a and n are used to refer to non-specific noun. Like we are not specifying them, we are bringing it out in general, or to indicate that the noun is general. You know, I said this already. Like we are trying to bring a noun. We are talking about a noun. We are generalizing it. We are not saying okay. We are not specializing into one area. We are generalizing our noun. So that is what we use a and n for. So uses of a. A is used before nouns that begin with a consonant sound. A is used before nouns that begin with a consonant sound. We now have consonant letters. We have B, we have D, we have F, we have
C.
G, we have C as well. So that's what we're trying to say. We use A before nouns that begin with a consonant sound. Examples: a book, a book. I am reading a book. So since the b it's a consonant sound, so you're using a to generalize the noun book there. So I am reading a book. And we have another example. I have a car. I wish I have both. But another example, I have a car. The sound k, it's a consonant sound. So we have to start it. We have to modify that now with the indefinite article a. So that is what we are trying to say. And we have an. So it's used before nouns that begin with a vowel sound. It is used before nouns that begin with a vowel sound. And now our vowel letters, we have a, e, I, o, u. We have 5 vowels in English language. So whenever we want to use an to generalize a noun, so it's the word must start with a vowel sound. An example is of that is I am eating an apple. I am eating an apple. You not say I'm eating a apple. It is wrong, because we are using and to generalize our word that's beginning with a vowel sound. I am eating an apple. And we have I have an idea. I have an idea. And refers to the general idea. Probably I have it within me. So that's what we're trying to say, that we use and to modify a noun that's beginning with a vowel sound. I hope that is very clear. The difference between a and an. We use a to before nouns that begin with a consonant sound. We use a before noun that begins with a consonant sound. So we have rules for using a and an. We have rules for using a and an. So we have use a before nouns that begin with a consonant sound. I said that earlier. Even if the noun starts with a vowel letter, even if the noun starts with a vowel letter that is pronounced with a consonant sound.
Yeah.
Because we have some words that they are starting with the vowel,
especially H.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
It's very confusing. So in our words pronunciation, there are some words that we write down that they actually start with a vowel letter, but we don't pronounce the vowel letter with them, so they might tend to confuse us. So the rule is saying that.
Or did you mean consonants? They start with consonant letter.
Yeah, they start with no. We are saying use a before nouns that begin with a consonant sound, even if the noun is starting with a vowel letter.
Okay.
So use a before nouns that began with a consonant letter, with a consonant sound, even if the noun starts with a vowel letter that is pronounced with a consonant sound. So not to confuse us, let's have an example. You have a university. Okay. So U is pronounced with a consonant sound, even though it is a vowel letter and it's starting our noun. So we pronounce it as a consonant sound there. And we have a European country.
What's the consonant sound for a university? Is that G?
G. Yeah.
Okay.
So a European country. So even though our European is starting with E, we don't pronounce it like that. So that's what we're trying to say, that even though we have some words that they are starting with a vowel letter, but as far as we are pronouncing them we are pronouncing them with they're starting with a consonant sound. The sound starting them is pronounced in a consonant manner. Then we use the article a. So another rule is saying use and before nouns that begin with a vowel sound. Use and before nouns that begin with a vowel sound. We said that one already, like an apple. And we have another one, and ha. Even though and how here is starting with H-O-U-R. Ha. We are saying okay, the H is a consonant sound, but when we want to pronounce the vowel say ha. So and ha. So we not say a ha. That is wrong, because
so the H is silent.
The H is silent. So we are pronouncing ha. No, we are not pronouncing the H with the word. So that is what the second rule says. We have use a before nouns that start with a consonant sound, even if the noun is an abbreviation or an acronym. Use a before nouns that starts with a consonant sound, even if the noun is an abbreviation or an acronym. We know it's okay, because we are trying to shorten Nigeria Union of Journalists. NUJ, you now say an NUJ. That is wrong. So it doesn't matter. So far we are abbreviating the word, and it is starting with a consonant sound. To use a BBC reporter, we have a NASA scientist. So that is under the indefinite article a and an. The indefinite article a and and. So let's talk about a and n rather. So let's talk about the definite article. The definite article the is used to refer to a specific noun that is already known or has been previously mentioned. We are referring to a specific item here. We are not generalizing our noun here. We are referring to a specific one here. It's either it has been known already or it has previously been mentioned. It indicates that the noun is in particular is unique. It indicates that the noun is particular and unique. It indicates that the noun is particular and unique. So uses of the, we have when referring to something specific or previously mentioned, we are bringing our idea to one particular item. We are not generalizing it now. And we have an example. I saw a dog. That we are generalizing it already. That is the use of article hey. Then we now have the dog was barking loudly. We are now saying, okay, that particular dog, that specific dog we saw was barking loudly. So that is use of definite D. It is used to specify a particular item, a particular noun, a particular object that has been known or previously mentioned. And we have the uses of D again. When there is only one of something, like it's just one throughout forever and ever, it's never changing, like it's just one throughout and forever and ever throughout the whole wide world. We have something like the sun rises in the east. Of course, you don't have two suns, there's only one sun. So the sun rises in the east. You not say a sunrise rises in the east. That is wrong. And we would always have something like always one president in one country. Yeah. So the president gave a speech. So that is another use of the definite article the. It is used for when we have only one of something, like it has no rival, it's just one. And so we have another one before names of unique places that are very probably sacred. They are not very common, they are very special. Yeah. We have the Taj Mahal. I'm guessing it's a mountain. I'm not very sure.
The Taj Mahal, no, it's a building.
It's a building, yeah. The Taj Mahal. We have the Cocoa House, like in Ibadan, in Nigeria as well. We have the
Ocean Grove.
The Ocean Grove, the Pacific Ocean. So we have a lot. We are trying to refer to names of unique places. So use the definite article D. We use D for a lot of things, but let's try and look at one or two more. We have before superlatives and ordinal numbers. If you could remember when we were talking about adjectives, we have the word, we have the comparative, and we have the superlative. What we say the superlative is like the highest degree or at which you can put an adjective at. So we have something like tall, taller, tallest. Big, bigger, biggest. So the tallest and the biggest in this sentence is the superlative adjectives. And we have ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers is talking about first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on and so on. That is what we have as the ordinal numbers. So when we are trying to put this in our sentences, we are meant to use the definite article D. So he is the best player in the team. He is the best player in the team. When we have good, better, best. So we are using the degree of adjective best here. So he is the best player in the team. He is the tallest amongst his brother. And we have another one. She finished in the first position. So let's just stop under the uses of the definite article D, because we're running out of time this morning, or we should look at one more. Let's look at the last one I have here, because we have a lot of that here. So before proper nouns when referring to families, we talked about proper nouns as nouns that are very designed and specific to an idea, a thing, an object. It's not something that we are generalizing. We are just attributing to a particular thing, a particular place. So let's have the Smiths live next door. That's when, so the article D is saying before proper nouns when referring to families, the Smiths live next door. The Smiths live next door. So you know, say Smiths live next door because we are talking about the family of Smith itself. So the Smiths live next door. The Mustafas stay around my house. So that's another example of how to use the definite article D. So, and that would be all for grammar this month, because we have a lot of it, but because of our time we will try and probably look at it again next week.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Sophia, for that. I'm sure our listeners have learned something about articles this morning. Again, like I always say, if you've been writing anything down, you can always go through your notes to understand it better, because Sophia is a little bit fast. so it might be a bit difficult to digest, but you can always go through it and go online and find more examples. So thank you so much for that. Quick hello to some of our listeners on Facebook. I have Esteem Temitayo is saying welcome on board. I don't know if he's welcoming us on board or we are the ones to welcome him on board. Okay, good to have you join us again, Esteem. Esteem was also a winner for last week's read.
Wow.
Yes, you're supposed to give him applause. Say. So
we haven't had a winner in a long time, so I'm especially happy.
Yeah. So congratulations, Esteem. And on Instagram I have Mitch. Hello, Mitch. Hello, Gina. How are you doing? Henry Lenz, hello. Priceless Stainsell, hello. Good morning to you guys. Thanks for joining me on the show this morning. So we'll be going on a very, very short break. And when we come back, Sophia is going to continue with the current affairs for this morning. I wonder what she has in stock for us in that segment. But we're going to find out after this break. So don't go anywhere. Remember last week I said I was going to make this a constant on the show. Anytime we go on break, I'm going to be playing this song to remind you to brush your teeth, and I held on to that promise for you. So I hope that served as a very quick reminder to you to go brush your teeth, because the morning is fast spent. And not just your teeth, your tongue as well. A lot of children especially, you don't like to brush your tongue. When you wake up, your tongue is always white because of remnants from all the sweet things you've eaten the previous day. So when you're brushing, it's not just your incisor that you brush. So if once the brush just goes up here and goes down, that is all. They are done. But if you just take a quick look into the back of your teeth, you just get a mirror, take a quick look into the back of your teeth, you're going to see what is actually there, so that you will know that all the ones you have been doing since you have been playing. So always brush your tongue, brush your teeth, ensure that you're getting the sides, because that's even the best place for food remnants to hide. And once there are food remnants there, it's a breeding place for bacteria. So brush your teeth, guys. And right about now, we're going into current affairs with Sophia. So over to you.
You're welcome back again.
Good morning.
You're welcome back this morning. I choose not to be tempted this morning, so I'll not say good morning again. So you're welcome back again, and this is current affairs. We're kicking off with current affairs now. So we're talking about the Ebira tribe this morning. Even though
Ebira tribe.
It's one of the tribe that's very common in the northern part of the country.
Yeah.
I think I have a friend who's from that tribe, even though she doesn't understand the language. but
does she live there?
She doesn't live there.
Okay.
But she has a Ebira name, Oiza.
Oh, okay.
So the Ebira people are an ethnic group primarily found in central Nigeria, mainly in Kogi State, with some also residing in part of Niger State and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Their homeland, known as Ebira land, includes towns like Okene, Ajao, and Adavi. The Ebira people are believed to have migrated from the Benue Valley centuries ago, and they share historical ties with neighboring ethnic groups such as the Nupe and Hausa. The Ebira people, the Ebira language is their primary means of communication, belonging to the Niger-Congo language family. However, many Ebira people also speak Hausa, English, and other local languages due to regional interactions they've learned from their neighboring hometowns there. So culturally, the Ebira people have rich traditions, including unique cuisines like pounded yam with vegetable soup, ogbono, grilled suya, and we have lots of cuisines for them. Traditional clothing includes brightly colored attire, with women wearing elaborate beadwork and men in long robes. The Ebira people are traditionally farmers, cultivating crops such as yam, cassava, maize, and rice, and they are also known for their blacksmithing and craftsmanship. Agriculture remains their primary source of livelihood. In conclusion, the Ebira people are a resilient and culturally rich ethnic group, known for their strong community ties, traditional practices, and contributions to Nigeria's diversity. Despite modern challenges, they continue to preserve their heritage while adapting to change. And that is, we've added another tribe to our list of tribes.
But you didn't tell us prominent people from Ebira.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, I mean, I know Mercy Johnson is from Ebira, so yeah, she's a Nollywood actress. So she's from Ebira in Kogi State.
We will talk about before we start our next current affairs.
Because I feel it's important for people to know or have an idea. Some of these prominent people, popular people that we see all over the place, when we talk about their tribe or where they are from, it is important we mention them. It gives some sense of identity. When you know that this person is from where I'm from, you know, you start to feel some type of excited way. Just like when you were mentioning Obafemi Awolowo now and some other prominent people that we know. I mean, as a Yoruba person, you would be like, oh, interesting. I love this. So yes, thank you. Is that all?
Yeah, that's all for the Ebira tribe this morning.
Okay.
I hope we have people that will help contribute and tell us more about the tribe, because the tribe is not very, very like common, like the ones we are taught in school, the Hausa,
Yeah,
the Igbo,
you
and
know,
the
most of that.
Yoruba.
That's why it's important to also talk about all that. Nigeria is a blessed country because we have
Yes.
hundreds of tribes, right? Not just outside Igbo, Yoruba that we popularly know. We have hundreds of tribes, so it's important to not just erase all of this because they are not prominent. It's important to talk about them because whether we like it or not, there are some aspects of other cultures that we also inculcate into our own.
Yes.
Right, there are aspects of, like, okay, now we eat suya a lot of times. In fact, in almost all areas of the country, kilishi, you eat all of that, but that's a food culture that is prominent mostly in the northern part of the country. But when you don't know all these things, you can easily assume that just because you ate it in Osun or you ate it in Osogbo, then it's an Osogbo food. Meanwhile, it is originally not. So
So that's it for the Ibera tribe this morning, and we hope to talk about different tribes, a lot of tribes we have in Nigeria. So, and our word for today is spelled INEFFABLE. INEFFABLE. That's ineffable. Ineffable. So it is the definition says too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. It's just too beautiful for us to describe it in words. So that is ineffable. It's like a feeling within us. So let's have that in a sentence. The joy she felt upon seeing her family after years apart was ineffable, beyond anything words could capture. After so many years of seeing your family, of course you can't even describe the moment with words. So that's what we are trying to say about ineffable. Like it's a feeling that's too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. And we have synonyms, the words we can use in placements of ineffable. We have indescribable, we have unutterable, we have inexpressible, unspeakable, we have beyond words. So that is synonyms. And antonyms, like what's opposite to ineffable. You have expressible, you have describable, we have utterable, and we have communicable. And that is all for word of the day. So add that to your list
to your ever-growing list of new words to use in your vocabulary.
Ineffable.
So thank you, ineffable. Thank you, Sophia, for that. I'm sure you've learned a lot this morning, but that's not all, because we still have about 2 more segments for you if time permits. And over to the third segment of the show this morning, I am treating safety. Yes, I'm still treating safety. I know we've touched on several parts and aspects of safety, but this time around we are treating safety in the home safety. You know, it's easy for us to say that home is a safe abode. This is where you come to after a very long day, after a hectic day, after being out there in the world. You come home to rest. Exactly. When you're home, your guards are down. But do you know that it is possible for you to still get into trouble or still get into danger while you are in the house? And that is why this particular segment has to be talked about. That's why it is important, because when you're home, there are different parts of the house. You have the kitchen, you have the bathroom, you have the store, you have the living room, and it's easy for you to actually get hurt in any of this. In fact, this morning I had a home accident. I was trying to wear my earring, and then one ear dropped, and while I was trying to pick it up, I hit my forehead on the cupboard, wardrobe, the edge of the wardrobe, that sharp edge. I actually bled a little this morning. That's a home accident. Yes.
Sorry.
So that's a home accident. And then I was thinking, you see, typical, because I was going to treat home accident, and here am I having one few hours to my show. So it's necessary for us to stay safe at home. And how can we stay safe at home? One of the ways you can stay safe is by locking up your doors and windows. I know you can say, okay, this is common sense for everybody, but it doesn't just end at you locking your doors and windows. Where do you keep your keys? Where do you keep your keys? Some people, after locking the door, they leave the key at the knob. They leave the key at the
That's happened to me.
right. You leave the key there, and then maybe your door is close to a window where somebody can easily just tear the nets or what have you, and then stretch their hand. It has happened several times. They stretch their hand and then they can open the door from inside. So where do you keep your keys? Once you lock your door, ensure you have a designated area where you keep your key. Now, this designated area should not be close to your window. There are some people, once they are leaving their house, they will keep their key. They'll keep their key at the top of the window so that the next person can come and see it. It's actually not very. There are people that keep it at the bottom of their doormats. Anybody can just go. Those are very popular places where people keep their keys, and anyone can just come and then take the key and open the house like it's theirs, and then they rob you or they do something else that puts you in danger. So let's be very mindful of these things. You can have a designated place to keep your key in the house that is away from where a visitor or anybody from the outside can easily reach it. So that's for doors and windows. Also another type of safety we can practice while in the house is kitchen safety. You see, the kitchen is one of the places where accidents are prone to happen the most. Why? Because there is a lot of things going on there. There are sharp objects in the kitchen, knives, scissors, what have you. There's also you use fire, you cook, there is gas, there is stove. So you have to be really, really careful and mindful. Not only careful and mindful, because what can happen in the kitchen? Your clothes can get caught in the fire. It has happened to me before. You can get burned. It has happened to me before. Yes, and the thing is, I think I wasn't mindful, because I tried. This even happened recently. I think sometime last week. I was trying to lift something hot, a hot pot for the fire, and I used my bare hands. I was feeling like Superwoman. And so I did that. Now, the moment I lifted it, I couldn't drop it immediately, because dropping it immediately would mean spilling the content, and I was not going to let that happen. So I lifted it, and while I was shouting, I was shouting until I dropped it where I wanted to drop it. But the thing had been done. My hand was already scalded. That's a home accident. So you have to avoid that, because I felt that pain for several hours throughout that day. So when you're in the kitchen, be very mindful, avoid burns and cuts. When you're handling knives, you have to be extremely careful, because knives are very sharp. Also avoid burns. If you have to lift pots or utensils from the gas or from the stove, ensure you use mittens or maybe a clothing material that can help you to not be burnt. Also, be cautious of hot pans. Okay, wash your hand before handling food. I know this is also common sense, but a lot of people do not do it. If you're going to cook, ensure you wash your hands. That should be the first thing you do. Wash your hands properly before handling food. Also, cover your meals. Once you're done cooking or once you're done serving food, cover it up, because flies, germs, bacteria, they can easily, you see, the same way you're looking for food is the same way pests are looking for food. Cockroach is looking for food, termites is looking for food, flies, they are looking for food. Everybody wants to eat. So if you leave your food unattended to, they will perch on it, and they're going to leave food droppings, and then you will come, because you can't see the food droppings with your plain old eyes. You're going to just eat it. You say the food is very delicious. Meanwhile, there's a dropping from fly on that food. I know flies are very fast. You won't even know. It will just happen in a split second, and they've done whatever they want to do. So you have to be very mindful of that. Quickly, another home safety tip we have to employ is in handling electrical appliances. This is very, very important, because it can get really fatal. When you're handling electrical appliances, I'm talking phone, chargers, television, you have to be very, very careful. And one way you can be careful is to keep them away from water. In fact, electrical appliances or sockets should not be placed against walls where they connect directly to bathrooms. Especially if you have the bathroom on one side of the house, on the other side of the same wall, you shouldn't have any electrical appliance connected to it. And you know why? Because if there is a bad if it's a bad building, water can easily seep through that wall. You know, in the bathroom there's a lot of water being used. So that water can seep through that wall and then seep into the electrical outlet, and then when you innocently want to plug something or do something, you can get electrocuted or something. An electrical hazard can happen. So you have to be very, very mindful. Also, turn off electrical appliances when you're not using them. Turn off your TV if you're not using it, and if you're going out as well, turn it off, because there can be a power surge at any time. There can be high current, and you know that can burn your electrical appliances. So you have to be very mindful of that. Ensure that all electrical outlets are well grounded. This is especially important when during rainy season. You know, we have a lot of thunder, electrical currents flying about. So ensure electrical outlets are very well grounded. I think I've witnessed okay, I wasn't home that day, but it happened. We had this, it was raining, and then a very big thunder just came in through the roof, and the TV, whatever was connected to the TV, everything. And fortunately the TV was on that period, so the TV, the sockets, the everything got damaged. So something so innocent, and you know that kind of thing can even cause a fire outbreak. Because it's lightning, it can cause a fire outbreak. So imagine nobody was at home that period, and just like that, you just find out that things are getting burned. A lot of electrical appliances are getting damaged. So let's be mindful of that as well. There is also bathroom safety. When you're in the bathroom, use bath mats to avoid sleeping. There are bath mats. There are these bath mats that help you to improve friction. I'm sure you've seen them. They usually have rough surfaces. You place them at the front of your bathroom so that when you're coming out, you don't sleep. I remember an event where I don't even know a lot of things have happened to me. So
She's teaching from experience.
yes, I'm teaching from experience. So I had an experience. I just finished bathing. Nobody was pursuing me, and I was running in the sitting room, and just like that, I slipped and hit my head on the tile.
Oh, sorry.
Bam! I hit my head on the tile. That could have gone
Horribly wrong.
yes, a lot of
Terribly
things
wrong.
could have gone wrong, but fortunately I'm alive. That can be anybody. And also we have these baths, you know, these old baths they use in those old days that they put jacuzzi. You know, it gets very slippery as well. So if that's what you have in your bathroom, you have to ensure you have a mat under it so that you don't sleep while you're having a bath. It causes a lot of home accidents. I'm sure you've heard the news of 1 or 2 people having such home accidents, and if you're not lucky for if no one is at home to help you out, or nobody's at home to take you to the hospital, that can really, really get bad. There are also other safety tips you can employ at home, but because of time we'll not be able to go into that. We'll also not be able to play games today, unfortunately. Yes, I'm sorry, we'll not be able to play games, but I promise next week we're going to play a game. Next week we're also going to do riddle, because we need a winner for our riddle segment. So join us again same time next week at 10 o'clock a.m. on Saturday on Kiddies Arena, and it promises to be a